Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where South African politics is never short on plot twists, and just when you think you've heard it all, the story takes another sharp left turn. Today's headline: allegations that President Cyril Ramaphosa's inbox was hacked by members of his own police service. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't a rumor about dodgy emails or some random phishing attempt from a Nigerian prince. According to a report by Sunday World, some very serious claims are being made that a group of rogue elements within the South African Police Service may have illegally accessed Ramaphosa's private communications. If this is true, and we must stress, it's an ongoing and murky story, then we are talking about something much bigger than just a cybersecurity issue. We are talking about a political bombshell with the potential to rattle the presidency to its core. So let's dig in. What does the report actually say? Who might be behind the alleged hacking? And what does this mean for the future of Ramaphosa, the ANC, and South Africa's entire political landscape? Stick around, because this story isn't just explosive, it's downright cinematic. What the Sunday World report claims. So here's what Sunday World has put on the table. According to unnamed sources, certain SAPS officials, believed to be from high-level intelligence units, allegedly attempted to gain access to President Ramaphosa's private inbox. The goal? Unknown. The method? Not entirely clear. But the implications? Massive. What we do know is that this was not part of any sanctioned investigation, not approved by the courts, and certainly not authorized by the presidency. This is what makes it so dangerous. If it's true, then members of the police were running a shadow operation against the head of state. Now ask yourself, what kind of political culture do we live in where the president can't even trust the very institutions meant to protect him? Why now? Why Ramaphosa? Let's not kid ourselves, Ramaphosa is under pressure. Internally, the ANC is splintered between camps loyal to him, factions that would love to see him gone, and a rising class of political opportunists who smell blood. Externally, he's managing a fragile government of national unity that includes parties with wildly different ideologies. The DA, IFP, and even elements of the EFF are circling him politically. And then, there's Zuma's MK party waiting in the wings, stirring up resentment and claiming electoral sabotage. In this tense environment, information becomes a weapon. And hacking Ramaphosa's inbox, if it happened, would be the equivalent of storming the vault. What might they have hoped to find? Private conversations. Cabinet plans. Communications with international leaders. Fallout plans from the Phala Phala scandal. Or even financial dealings that could embarrass him or weaken his grip. Whether real or just hoped for, that kind of intel could be political dynamite in the wrong hands. The factions within SAPS. Let's not forget, SAPS isn't a monolith. It has divisions, loyalties, and long-standing ties to different political factions. Crime intelligence, in particular, has been at the center of controversy for years. During the Zuma era, it was accused of being used to monitor political opponents and manipulate internal ANC dynamics. There are still figures within SAPS who are seen as loyal to Zuma or other radical economic forces within the ANC. If this operation was real, it may not have been about law enforcement at all. It may have been purely factional, a high-stakes power move to expose or discredit Ramaphosa. That would explain why it was done so secretly. No paperwork. No oversight. Just a covert digital hit job aimed at the most powerful man in the country. What could be in that inbox? We are obviously speculating, because no emails have been leaked publicly, but if you're a president, you're handling everything from classified national security discussions to sensitive diplomatic conversations. Add to that internal ANC communications, donor correspondence, and yes, potentially damaging information about the Phala Phala farm robbery. If even one compromising message surfaces, it could be enough to destroy public confidence or fuel opposition parties looking for blood. That's why this story, even in the rumor phase, is already such a big deal. What has Ramaphosa said? At the time of this recording, nothing. The presidency has not issued an official statement denying or confirming the allegations. That silence could mean several things. Either they are still verifying internally what happened, or they don't want to draw more attention to the story and risk giving it momentum. But make no mistake, if there is even a kernel of truth here, heads will have to roll. Not just because of the potential political fallout, but because this is an attack on the institution of the presidency itself. And if it turns out the whole thing is exaggerated or politically planted, then someone is playing a very dangerous game, and using the media to test the waters for a bigger move. What happens next? If this story develops, it could become a legal, political, and constitutional crisis. Ramaphosa could demand a full investigation into SAP's crime intelligence. Parliament could be forced to intervene. The opposition, especially the EFF and MK party, could seize on it as proof that Ramaphosa is weak or compromised. And the ANC itself may fracture even further, especially if evidence emerges that links back to known factional figures. In the broader context, this is also about trust. Trust in our institutions. Trust in our democracy. And trust in the rule of law. Because if our president's private inbox isn't safe, what else isn't? Final thoughts. Whether this was a real hacking attempt, a factional operation, or just strategic misinformation, the very existence of this report tells us something important. South Africa is entering a new political era, one defined not just by debates in parliament or speeches at rallies, but by invisible battles behind closed doors. Surveillance. Leaks. Espionage. Shadow games. And like all power struggles, the people often get left in the dark. So here's our question to you. Do you believe this story? Was Ramaphosa's inbox really hacked? Or is this just another twist in our never-ending soap opera of factional warfare and political sabotage? Let us know in the comments. As always, your voice matters. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown like this. We've got more analysis, more truth-telling, and more fire coming your way. Until then, stay sharp, stay informed, and see you next time.